Hey there everyone, it's Chalkin History with Shelly Kallach. How are you guys? It is Sunday afternoon. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I am back from a short break, so I am happy to be back and need to get something done before I teach a class down in South Carolina in a couple of weeks. So I thought you guys could join along and watch. A couple reminders: we have the tariff sale going on right now, and I believe those end today at midnight Mountain Time or 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. So you want to check out the sale section. Also in the sale section is included they've put in some extra things, and they are allowing you to use the promo code EXTRA30 and you'll get 30% off those items that are designated to get 30% more off. So go to the sales section, you'll see them all there. Good stuff, you guys. You guys can get some good finds in there for pretty cheap. Okay, so join me. Let's make sure we're up and cooking here. Oops, alright, turn that off. Looks like we're good. Let's get the glasses on so we can see what we're doing. Give everyone another minute here. All right, guys, let's get started. Let's see here. Just trying to make sure we're everywhere we need to be. Okay. All right, make sure you're saying hello and comment as we go along. So this, I'm doing those etched pumpkins. And don't forget, if you place orders or if you need to place a fairly decent size order, if you want to get together with some friends, there is a potential of earning 3 free transfers. So a D size, a B size, and an A size. It's the etched pumpkins. It's that etched, oh gosh, what is that? It was the little guy. I don't remember the name of it. And then another D size. You guys can get those for free. So if you're looking to get together, you don't have to get together through me. It would be fun to do that. But if you decide to do it at your own place or somewhere else, let me know so that we can get that order placed for you and get you 3 free transfers, okay? Anyway, so the one tray I did was the etched pumpkins. Remember, it was the dark gray with the white, and then on the opposite side, we used the ash, which is a new En Vogue color, chalk paste color. We used that on the bottom side just to see what it would look like, and it looked pretty cool. And then another option that I'm having a class, so the other option is they can do this by the Seashore tray. So we're doing trays. That's what the class is. So I need to get my sample done so that I can take it with me and they can kind of just use it for inspiration and come up with their own way of doing things. So what we need to do is get it all colored the way I want to get it colored. So I was thinking, I actually was going to do it white, but I think I'm going to use our new color Lagoon. This is one of our new En Vogue colors. Not yet used, so let's get this guy open. Very pretty. It almost looks like kind of close to Tide. Let's get a Tide out and see. I thought I had one out here. Nope, that's not Tide. This is Tide, so it's kind of close to Tide. You can see Tide is a little more brighter of a color, I think, than the Lagoon. But we're going to use Lagoon. And what I'm going to do is we are going to just paint the bottom part of the tray with the Lagoon, and I think I'm going to do the rest of the tray with Vanilla, which is my favorite off-white. So it shouldn't be too difficult. So we're just going to get started here. And I'm going to spray my tray. That way my Lagoon will kind of move a little more freer. All right, let's just dip our foam brush in there. And what a pretty color. Definitely reminds me of the waters. Tell me in the comments your favorite beach to go to. Your favorite beach to go to. I'm just going to kind of get this really wet. It may take time to dry, but it's okay. So we're going to try to be really careful by the edge. I was going to tape it, but I forgot to tape it. So we're going to try to be really careful, or we're going to tape it and continue. So let me get the majority of this done, and then we're going to get some, you can use our placement tape, or you can use washi tape, or no tape at all if you feel like you're really good at cutting corners. That is not one of my favorite jobs to do when painting in a house. When you're trying to cut in, oh, I just do not like doing that. So we're going to go ahead and instead of my transfer tape, which I don't have very much of, I'm going to use washi tape. It's kind of the same concept, not as sticky as our placement tape. I guess it's placement tape they call it. All right, so we're going to measure this. And I'm going to come in here. I'm going to try to get it as perfect as I can here. Okay, looking good so far. Really get it in that corner. Okay, we're going to just work our way around. Whoa. I'm just kind of getting close to the correct length. It's okay if it wraps around. So then it helps when I put down the next piece. So you want to make sure it's sticking down so that you don't get any of your paint or chalk paste under there. Okay. Next piece. Stick it down. So if you're in the Hilton Head Island area and you would like to do something like this, let me know, because we've been spending a lot of time down there. I'm so excited to be able to introduce Chalkin Tours to them. It's going to be exciting. All right, last piece. Almost there. All right, there we go. So it's all around in the edges, all taped off. So now I can get a little more crazy and not worry so much about my paint job here. So I'm spraying it again. And we're just gonna get this all coated up. So now I can kind of hit the corners, edges, without worrying about it going into my side. Probably use a smaller brush to get into the corners. Corners are so hard to do. I love this color, it's so pretty. So pretty. Oh shoot, I hit it. Dang it. I wasn't paying attention. It's all right, I think I'll be able to get it off. Worst case, I'll sand it off. All right, corner to corner. Even out those strokes. You can still see the wood grain of the wood, which is nice. Okay, let's get another little brush here. One of our little, this is from our artist tool set. Not sure what that is, a little fiber of some kind. And we're just gonna kind of get in that corner here. Okay, let's get all the corners. We'll let it dry and then we'll lift the tape. We're gonna have to try to fix that one spot that I accidentally hit. Okay, make sure we got it good. There's some spots that look a little lighter. I'm going to try to hit that area. Sometimes it's just the wood grain. Okay, so you can see I hit that spot. Let's go ahead. I'm going to get a wipe. I'm going to see if I can get the majority of it. Oops. There we go. See if I can get a majority of that up here. And then we can always sand it to see if we can get the rest. Or I could try one of our erasers too. Believe it or not, these do great at trying to get stuff off. Just need to get it wet. Okay. Let's coming off a little bit more. What I'll end up doing is once this gets dry, we'll go ahead and I'll sand it down a little bit. Okay, let's get this dry. I sprayed it pretty good, so it might take a few minutes here. Maybe, maybe not. We are going to want to make sure it's nice and dry before we go on to the next spot or the next part after we paint the sides. We're going to want to give it a nice light waxing so that we can chalk right on top. And then once this sits maybe for a day or two, I'm going to come back and we're going to put a nice little layer of resin in there so that we can make it waterproof. Or not waterproof, but able to put like a sweaty glass on it, or if something should happen to spill in there, it won't ruin our design. Still wet. Let me see if I can find the start of our tape. So we'll have to get that off. Try to find the end of the tape here. At least one of the pieces. And also try not to get too full of chalk paste. Oh, the satisfaction of peeling that off. Oh my gosh, so nice. You get nice crisp edges, just like when you're painting a house, right? Let's get this guy. There we go. Excellent, excellent. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to take this little sanding block here real quick and get in here and see if I can sand that off a little bit. It is really not wanting to go anywhere. Just curious if my vanilla is going to cover that up or if it's going to come through. I wonder if I just don't paint it all with that, the lagoon. Maybe we do lagoon on the inside and then we do the vanilla on the outside. We could do that. We could do that. Let's just do that. So, you know, you experiment along the way, guys. Experiment along the way. Okay. Get our brush. And we're just going to paint inside. We'll have to kind of thin that out. the corners so you don't have that really dark edge in there. Watch that we don't hit the tops if we're going to paint that vanilla. Maybe I should do this. Let's go ahead and do this. And just get my brush really wet. And I'm going to come in and just kind of water that down to get edges. Pick it up a little here. Okay, we're just going to kind of go along the edge here. I get it wet, and then I scoop up a little bit of the paste. Hit the corners. Hit the top. We're cutting it in. All right. Okay, now let's get this brush nice and wet. Actually, I'm just going to go into my jar. Wet the top layer a little bit. Here we go. There we go. Let's get this finished here. Again, be very careful that you don't hit the top because we're going to do that vanilla. Now, if I do end up making a mess, I'm just going to do it all in this color. But I'm going to try not to make a mess. I really like to make it two-toned. I think doing like a crackle effect would be really cool in the tray. I have my bubbly out. Remember bubbly? I think that was a color of the month. That would be pretty to use. Spreads so much nicer when it's a little wet. That's why I keep wetting it. last edge here. Okay, I think we got it. All of the inside edges, I believe, are done. Kind of just spread this out a little bit here. Okay, looks good. All right, I'm going to use my heavy duty blower here. Hopefully I get this, let's see. I don't want to burn it, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Just try to get this dry. What a pretty color. Some rough edges. If you wanted to give it like a distressed look, you could sand it down after you've painted it. Like I said, once I let this sit for a couple of days, I'm going to give it a nice thin layer of resin. Food safe. We do not, ours is not food safe. So if you do need a food safe resin, go ahead and comment the word food, and I will, or safe, and I will go ahead and get you a link for that. What I use. I think this is good. Yep, nice and dry. Let's go ahead and grab our surface wax. Towel. And just kind of put it on my paper towel. Just swirl it around. First we're going to apply it, and then we'll get it rubbed in. This will protect the surface for when we're chalking on it. It helps the transfer release easier. Kind of gives the chalk paste something to sit on top of when you're using wood. I, for the most part, will normally wax whatever wood project I'm working on. I feel that I get a better result that way. You know, if you ask 10 people, you might get, you know, half and half different opinions. All right, so I'm going to open this up. Do it the other way now. And now I'm going to buff it, and you'll see it's going to get a nice, and I go against the grain too, but it's going to get kind of looking like a nice shiny, slippery, it'll be soft to the touch, kind of a finish. Okay. If it still feels waxy to you, you want to keep going. You don't want to leave behind any clumps of wax. Okay, I think I'm all right. Look, it looks like an ice rink. It's so slippery. All right, we're gonna use vanilla. Let's bring our transfer over. So this is the By the Seashore. Now you could do it this way if you wanted to. I'm going to attempt it this way. We'll probably have to do the transfer twice. All right, so I was thinking I would do it, start in the middle, and then, or do we want to start this way and then this guy will be over here? We could do that. And so I'm going to kind of like crease it too, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put transfer tape on the transfer itself so I have a nice even border all the way around. Okay, so let's get this off. Now because I waxed it and buffed it, I will not need to fuzz my transfer. All right, so we're gonna stick this in there. Corners, edges to edges to edges here. Okay, that's there. That's there. Okay, now we're gonna kind of rub that down, make sure it's nice and flat. You don't want any wrinkles or anything like that. We want it nice and flat on our surface. Some air bubbles. Okay, and like I said, I'm going to use a little strip of our placement tape because it's about the same width as the top and side. So it'll give us a really nice border. Okay. Just gonna come in here, put it up on that edge there. Okay. And then when we move it, we'll just keep it there. And it'll give us that same edge. Okay. Awesome. Let's open up our vanilla, my favorite off-white color. All right, we're just gonna give it a little stir here. And I am just going to chalk the entire design. So sometimes when I apply it, I will kind of flatten it out, kind of like a putty knife, right? And then I will keep it upright to spread it, okay? And that creates a nice, thin, even layer. Okay, when I go to the tape, I go opposite the tape. So I'm not forcing anything under the tape, okay? Any excess, just keep taking off. You just scrape it off. Squeegee it off, and it just leaves just the right amount of paste behind. Okay, Okay, pushes it through that mesh. Okay. Come over here, do this way, and then we'll lift it, we'll dry it, and then we'll finish it. Okay, there's that. So we're just gonna lift it. Oh my goodness. Look how nice that is. Isn't that fun? You see the edge that it left is about the same all the way around, which is exactly what I wanted. Okay, let's go ahead and dry this up. Then we'll lay it back down next to this section and finish it off. Okay, let's go ahead and place this down. I kind of turn it this way. Let's move that. Okay, we're going to place this down. See how close I want to get it here. We're also going to have to give it a little bit of an edge on the right side. Okay, I'm making sure I'm up to the edge there. I want to make sure I'm not overlapping here. I don't think I am. Okay, so we're going to have to do this side and this side. Okay, we're going to have to tuck it in those edge corners here. Okay, so there and there. Let's get a tape. I think it's about the same width. It's fine if it's a little bit not. Of course, I'm gonna run out. I have to order more. I always run out of that tape. Kind of make an invisible line, I guess, maybe with our squeegee. Or I will use my washi tape. That's what we'll use. Where's the edge? It's like finding the edge on that tape roll. Always impossible to find. Okay, let's turn it. And we're gonna just kind of line it up. Hopefully it's straight. I think it is. It's good enough. Good enough. Okay, let's press everything down again. And then hopefully our paste hasn't dried in the screen. Hopefully we'll get a good print here. Kind of flatten it. Again, if I'm coming off of that tape, because I don't really want to shove it under the tape. We want to go from the tape out. Okay, I can go along the tape. Make sure you stay on the transfer. off all of our excess. Can't wait to see what this looks like. Pretty sure I got all those edges real good. And then we're gonna just slowly peel away. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Oh my gosh, you guys, look how fun that is. Put that aside. I love it. All right, let's get that dry. What do you guys think? I think it looks so cool. We could have also maybe brought it up from the bottom, excuse me, so the pattern would have been a little bit different. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love that. So it could have been, so we could have started like at the bottom and went up. Like did it like that. And then, you know, the pattern would have been a little off kilter, which is fine. It would have been a nice little diagonal repeating type pattern, but I love it. Or you could start with it in the middle. That way you can do half and half and you can change it up a bit. So many ways you could do this, you guys. So many ways. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. That's that. Now, we're going to take, I'm going to find a teeny tiny little foam brush. If I have one. So that we could do the edges. Let's see what I got here. Oh, here's one. So I have one of these guys so that we're going to go around the edges and then we'll use a bigger one for the sides. Okay. Let's do this. Put that there. I am going to put a little water in my lid. Take some paste on my foam brush. We're just going to kind of dab it in that water, thin it up a little bit. All right. Edges off. All right, and we're just going to carefully, ever so carefully, paint along the edges here. Not really much of a difference. If anything, it's a little bit lighter than the raw wood. Make sure I don't go inside. I don't care if it comes the other way because that's the color of the tray on the outside. Sometimes I feel better just pouncing instead of trying to brush it. And then I can kind of work it a little bit, but just to get it on first. let's turn it. Watch where you touch, because it is going to be wet. Boy, it's like I said, it's really close to the color of the wood. It's a little lighter, so I'm seeing where I may have missed. It wouldn't hurt to do a second coat for sure. Or maybe not water it down so much. It just goes on so much easier when it's a little watered down. Or you can use acrylic paints, you know, whatever you have, whatever you like working with. Here's where it kind of got on the top, so we'll see if we can cover that. Okay, try it again. I'll probably give it a second coat. Just because. Now you could always jazz it up with some thicker jute rope. If you just wanted to wind it in the handle part, that would be fun to do. If before you put the resin in, if you're gonna do that, you could add some shells or some sand along the edges and then seal it in with the resin. That sounds like a good idea. Just might do that. Let's see. All right, there's that top part. Check your edges. I think I did pretty good with not going into the tray, so that's kind of nice. Again, today's last day for our tariff sales. Through the 8th, you can get extra 30% off certain items by using the code EXTRA30, but you need to go into the sales category on my website. Links are in the video description. And then use EXTRA30 when you're checking out. And you're getting extra 30% off. Also, if you're a Perks member, you get 30% off. So then you'll get another 30 off of that, which is amazing. You guys can get, gosh, quite a bit of few things at an awesome, amazing price. All right, we're gonna have to do the inside of that handle, except I'm not gonna do that right now. We're gonna work on the outside. Let me get my foam brush wet here. Dip it in here. Okay, I'm just gonna go and paint the outside. Again, you can use whatever your favorite paints are. If you use acrylic paints, that's fine too. And if you want, you can do all the painting first before you do the chalking on the inside. No real reason why I did it in this order. Can't even tell I did it. But that's okay because I do like the white look to it, the very light color. I just didn't want it to be the raw wood. Okay, there's that edge. Let me get that dried up a little bit. If you're not going to use it to put food on, you could do other alternate, waterproof type sealants. I do have this, and I can get you a link for that. It is a waterproof sealer, a glue, a protect finish. You could use it for decoupage. It's a really cool product that I like to use. If you want to comment magic, I can go ahead and get that for you. Okay. So let's just keep cruising right along. Like I said, I'll do that inside. I won't bore you with that inside job. These outside edges done. You want to be careful too, if you have the other color on you, you really don't want to be putting it on that light color. You can stain these, you can keep them natural. Paint, of course. You could use the, what is that called? Oh, I have some, I just don't remember what it's called right now. The scorch stuff, the scorch gel, torch paste, there you go. You can use that, or if you have a machine, you can engrave on these. They're fun little trays. Pick up a little moisture there. More side. If you're local to me and this sounds like something you would like to do, of course we don't have to do by the seashore. We could do the edged pumpkins. We could do any of our designs. If there's something on my website that you've seen and would like to give it a try, I am all about it. I love, love, love playing with these products. I love these, just playing with it and seeing what it can actually do. All the possibilities of crafting and decor making. Serving trays are always fun and functional. Great gifts if somebody's hosting for a certain party. I know we have some football, some really fun football transfers, so you could do a little tray for your tailgate or your Super Bowl party. all 4 sides are done. Like I said, the inside, I'll do that so I don't goof and take up too much more of your time this Sunday evening. It's getting close to dinner time. So I appreciate you hopping on today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Again, if you need anything, let me know. I'm happy to help.